Today, we are going to address some of the exercises that you can include to build core strength. And core strength is really vital to just the overall function, proper function of our body. Our core really goes all the way from our shoulder to our hip. So it is not just the abs, it is the whole trunk of the body on the front side and on the back side. And a lot of times we see in clients a lack of core strength in a lot of the time due to the amount of time that we spend sitting. So we're seated at a desk all day long, we're working on our computer, and no matter how good our intentions are at the beginning of the day to have great posture and keep our belly button pulled in and engage our core, by the end of the day we all look like this. We've got that forward shoulder posture, that C curve posture, our hips are rocked under, our core is completely disengaged. And so we need to do things to re engage it. And one of the best things you can do is to just take breaks during the day and stand up and move around. But I'm going to also show you some of the exercises that you can do to improve your core strength and stability. And a lot of those, in fact, several of the ones that I most often recommend are just using your floor or your mat and your body. And so that's where we're going to start today. So we're going to start with Spinal Balance series. And this is a hand and knee posture. So we want our hands on our floor or on our mat, under our shoulders. We want our knees directly under our hips. And we want to go ahead and pull our belly button up and in toward our spine. Now you'll also notice that my shoulders are rolled down. They're not squinched up by my ears. And I am already engaging my core just by being in this posture. I've got my belly button pulled in, up and in towards my spine. And so my core is already engaged. From here, I am going to reach out with my right hand and left leg. And when I do that, I'm going to try to keep the trunk of my body completely still. And then I'm going to bring that hand and knee back down and on the mat. And I'm going to switch sides. Left hand, right leg, and drop it back down. So I'm keeping my core engaged. At this point, my eyes are just looking at the floor. And I'm really trying to keep my body as still and stable as possible, just letting the arm and leg move as I keep my core engaged, my belly button pulled in. So I can go a few each side here. And then what I'm going to do to add a little challenge is I'm going to let my eyes follow my fingertips so that my focus shifts and it works that core even more. As you change your focus. Continuing to reach out, eyes following the fingertips, bring the hand back down, and then switch to the other side. Now I can add to this again by reaching out. Now I'm going to really pull my belly button in. I'm going to tuck my elbow and knee under the body, touching them, not letting the arm or the leg hit the floor. Re-extend and drop, and then I'll switch sides. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull the elbow and knee together under the body. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, drop. So that's a progression of the Spinal Balance series. We can also call that a bird dog. That's another common name for that particular exercise. But starting just with our gaze focused on the floor and then adding that shift in our focus, allowing our eyes to follow our fingertips, and then finally adding the elbow and knee pulled together under the body to work that core even more. All right, from there, we're going to move into a plank. And most of you have probably heard of a plank, probably have done a plank at some point in time in your life, but we're going to really work on proper plank form. And then I will also show you some additional progressions here. So we're just going to be down and on your floor or on your mat. And you want to be down on your forearms on the floor, hands down if you are able to. And then we're going to step our feet back. I'm going to shift my body forward, pull my shoulder blades together on my back, squeeze my legs in toward my center line of my body, and pull my belly button up and in. Now, this is my plank posture. This is my solid plank posture, plank form. And once I get here, I'm going to hold and breathe. Now, if this is too difficult, I can always drop my knees to the floor. Notice when I did that, I didn't shift my body into a hand and knee posture. I just dropped the knees so that I'm still in a plank. From my shoulder to where my knee hits the floor, I'm in a solid plank. I can graduate back up to the low plank with the feet on the floor. I can also do things like holding for 15 seconds at a time. If that gets easy, you're going to bump up to 30 seconds. If that gets easy, bump up to 45. If that gets easy, bump up to a minute. Once you can hold for a minute, then we can have some fun doing things like going from a low plank to a high plank. I'm going to try to keep my body as still and stable as possible. I'll drop back to a low plank, come back up into a high plank, alternating my lead hand each time. I can stay in my high plank, keep that belly button pulled in nice and tight, and do a shoulder tap, shoulder tap. Now I can make this easier by stepping my feet wide and keeping my hands close, really keeping that core engaged. Shoulder tap, shoulder tap. Alternating here, trying not to let the body rock side to side. I could also drop back into my low plank and lift one leg for a little added glute work there. I could switch sides at halfway. Lots of different ways that we can work our plank progressions. So that is our low plank, high plank. And then we'll also look at our side plank. So side plank is important to work those oblique muscles on the outsides, basically our side body, okay? So all the muscles that run down the sides and support our core on the front, our abdominal muscles, and our muscles on our back. So for a side plank, I'm going to be down and on my floor with my elbow and my arm is at a 90-degree angle here, okay? So I'm going to start with my top leg straight out. My bottom leg is down and on the floor at this point and bent. So I'm going to start by squeezing my hip up and holding. So this is a standard side plank. You can start here, and then we can always add. So I can go both legs out in a staggered posture. I can allow my eyes to look up towards my fingertips. I can stack my feet, which is going to be even more difficult. And again, I've got to make sure I'm keeping that hip pulled up, engaging the oblique. Or I can even lift the top leg. We can add a little rotation here by tapping the hand, reaching back up. And then I'll want to repeat whatever I did on one side on the other side. So a way to get the core involved, not just the traditional abs that we think of, but the whole core. And when you're doing these planks, you're going to feel this in your shoulders, you're going to feel this in your legs. It's really a whole body exercise. All right. Now, one of the things that we often forget when we're doing core exercises is that our core also is made up of all of the muscles on our back. So I'm going to show you how we can use a stability ball to work all of those back chain muscles. So you just need a stability ball. I can also show you how to do this just using the floor, but if you have access to a stability ball, I really like the way that that allows us to get range of motion here. So I'm going to lean forward so that my belly is on the ball, and then I'm going to pull my toes under my feet and straighten my legs. So I'm balancing my body on the ball at this point. I'm going to let my hands drop down to the floor, and then I'm going to reach my upper body up. So I'm opening up my chest. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together on my back to work the muscles in my back. I'm also having to work my glutes, my hamstrings, so the entire back chain of the body. So I'm going to drop, reach, drop, reach. I can go 10 of these. And then on the last one, reach up and hold for 10 seconds. So another way that we can make sure that when we're working core and we think core stability, we're not just working the front of the body, but we're also working the back of the body. It's a great, great, great exercise to open up the chest and also to work all of those back chain muscles. All right. If you don't have a stability ball, we can still do this exercise, and I'll show you how. You can be down and on your floor, and you want to lay all the way down on your belly and let your body relax. We're going to do what's called locust pose or skydiver. So I can drop my hands are palms face down. I can drop my forehead all the way down to the mat. My legs are just resting down. I'm going to take a big deep breath in, and when I do, I'm going to lift head, chest, arms, and legs. Eyes look up. Inhale. Exhale, drop the body back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now again, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together on my back as I come up. I'm engaging my glutes. I'm lifting my legs. I am working all of the muscles in my back doing that posture. So just a few simple exercises with not a lot of equipment. These are all great ways that you can start to build better core strength and stability, and it's going to help you in all of your activities, and it's also going to help you just feel better every day. If you're somebody who has back pain, any kind of issues around back pain, then having a strong core is one of the best ways that we can keep back pain at bay, and we can treat it as well if we do start to have it. All right, you guys, try some of these exercises. Let us know what you think.